Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Sunday. It is February 15th, day after Valentine's Day. Hope everyone had a nice Valentine's Day and did something nice last night. We've got a really nice card of racing over at Santa Anita. I really wish I would have looked at this a couple days earlier to see how good this card is. But anyway, I've been studying all morning. And wow, what a really nice series of betting races they've got for a Sunday. I think there's going to be some really nice payoffs in the multi-race wagers, and there's definitely some nice win bets to make. So I'm going to pick out, I've got 3 races that I want to make win bets on today, and we're going to talk about those races. So the first race over at Santa Anita does start at 12:30 Pacific, so that's 2:30 here in the Central Time Zone. So let's get started at what today looks like a truly great race place. So I'm going to skip the first race. I'm going to go to the second race of the day. Second race of the day is a maiden special weight race. This is 6 furlongs on the dirt. These are open company horses for 4-year-olds and up. And the second race goes off about 1 o'clock Pacific, so that's 3 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. Now there's a horse to note, there's some sentimental value here. That's the one horse being Silent Way. This horse is 6-5 in the program. Peter Urton is listed as the trainer, but this horse was trained by John Sheriffs, who passed away a couple days ago. And, there's been a scramble to take care of his horses and assign them to different trainers. So it looks like Silent Way has been assigned to Peter Urton. And, this horse is a favorite today. Probably be a lot of sentimental betting on this horse here. Always like John Sheriffs, but, we're betting here and we got to find winners. So I do have a horse here that I really do like, and I think this horse is going to show a big effort today, that being the 5 horse who is The Last Straw. The Last Straw comes out of the Richard Mandela barn, and Mirko de Muro takes the call. Now, this is the second time de Muro's had this horse. Now, this horse is certainly royally bred, or, if you've heard the term bred in purple, this horse certainly would be the case. And this horse is by Into Mischief, who's certainly one of the better, more hotter sires, in the country right now, producing a whole lot of winners. And if you look at the mom is Bast. Bast is a Grade 1 winner. Bast was one of the, really highly touted horses several years ago in a Del Mar summer meet. I think it was Bob Baffert trained her, and I think she won the Del Mar Futurity. But that horse was certainly, there was a lot of promise with Bast. So this is her, son, is a 4-year-old. And, 3 starts, so it looks like maybe this horse has had some troubles in getting to the races. I think this horse could be ready to run here. It is 6 furlongs here. I like the last race this horse came out of. In watching the film, this horse has shown some ability, but also has kind of run spotty. I think maybe the horse gets it together here. Mirko de Muro had a chance to figure this horse out a little bit last time. This horse came out of a really good race. It was only a 4-horse field, but I think, there's some nice horses out of that field. And I thought that The Last Straw really, showed something in that race, showed some ability. And I think it might be a tightener here for this race in beating a 5-horse field. 3-1, I think we'll get that 3-1 because of the sentimental betting for a Silent Way. But, we're here to win, and pick some winners and cash some tickets. So we'll bet the 5-horse here, The Last Straw, in the second race of the day. Now we're going to move over to the 4th race of the day. The 4th race is a 6-furlong dirt sprint, and this is a starter allowance race. And this is kind of like your traditional starter allowance races that we know as handicappers, where they put a condition, horses who have started for X amount or less in a time period, and you're able to run, in a race and not be able to get claimed. However, there is an option to claim in this race. So that's the little bit of a wrinkle. You can also put your horse in for $16,000 if you want to enter into this race. So if you don't meet that first condition, you can put your horse in for the $16,000 claim to meet that second condition. But, as it stands, none of the horses are in for the claim. So this is like your true starter allowance race. And it would be a starter allowance race for $12,500 or less. And I think there's a tough field signed on in this race. And I'm going to make a win bet. I've got one little bit of apprehension, but I'm just hope we're going to make a gamble here that this horse can get over this. I'm going to bet the 1 horse, who is 406 Creed. 406 Creed comes in for Jeff Mullins. Diego Herrera takes the call. Now, this horse has been, knocking in and around the claiming ranks as well as the starter ranks in Southern California. Horse shows a nice record at Santa Anita with 2 wins at Santa Anita. And, this horse just looks like he's the type of horse that just fits in these starter allowance races. He shows up every time, runs hard, runs tough. The only question, as I mentioned, is a 10-horse field as it stands. If there are no scratches, this horse comes out of the one hole. Diego Herrera is going to have to work out a trip from that one hole, probably just figure out how to get some position, not get buried on that rail, and then finish up. And this horse certainly could finish up. Has some nice wins, in these starter allowance races at Santa Anita. And I just feel like this is one of those type of, tough customers that win these kind of races. So 6-1. I think we're going to get every bit of 6-1 or somewhere around there for this horse. And I just think that if Diego Herrera can, put his thinking cap on, get a trip figured out, I think 406 Creed is going to be really tough here in the fourth race at a pretty nice price. And, it'll be a nice win because, as I mentioned, there are some nice horses in this race, some tough horses. I just think 406 Creed is, up for a nice effort here in the fourth race. So we're going to make that win bet in the fourth race on the one horse, 406 Creed. So the next race we're going to move over to the seventh race of the day. Seventh race has an approximate post time about 3:30 Pacific, so that's 5:30 here, Central Time Zone, and they're going down the hill, which I don't know that I've ever spoken to a horse player that doesn't love the down the hill races, and they're just very unique and just always an exciting race, and definitely a rider's race too. So this is a first level allowance race. This is an open company allowance race with an option to claim for $50,000. So that certainly does have an effect. With some of these horses being in for a $50,000 claim. There are also a couple multi-race winners or some Calbreds in here who have passed through that Calbred condition and are eligible for this open company race. But I've got a horse here that I do want to make a win bet. I think this horse is going to make a really good account of herself. That is Dare to Fly. Dare to Fly comes in for Phil D'Amato. Ismael Jaramillo rides the horse here. 5-1 in the program. Ismael takes over for Umberto Rispoli. As we've talked about, there's a lot of horses that Rispoli has ridden and ridden well, but Rispoli's going to be out for a little while. So, it just leaves a lot of mounts open. And I think Ismael Jaramillo picked up a really nice horse here. And why not put Ismael on horses? He's been doing just really gangbusters in California. It's been a really nice addition to that jock colony. Now, he's riding for Phil D'Amato, which is kind of a new association there. D'Amato hasn't really put him on too many horses, but probably should start because Ismael Jaramillo is certainly a really, really capable jockey. But I like Dare to Fly. She's been running in this allowance condition and running some nice races. And I just feel like she's really come up against some buzzsaws in her last few months of racing. She's run up against Princess Moche and Sunglow. Those are two really sharp horses, and she ran well with those horses too. And she also has some experience, has run down the hill, got beat, just a short head there at the wire at this level, so she certainly liked it downhill. I think Dare to Fly really sets up with a very nice race here. As I mentioned, I like the addition of Ismael Jaramillo. Jaramillo's, I think, has gone a couple trips down the hill now, since he, came over to California. So I think he's got a little bit of a experience there. Man, I really hope he watches the film. I think this girl really wants to get swung outside and make her run. I hope they don't try that saving ground trip down the hill. I don't know that always works because I think that turn, comes in kind of sharp. So I'm just hoping Ismael Jaramillo has figured this out and, has watched some film. If they swing this horse out, I think you're going to see a really nice effort from Dare to Fly, and she'll run by this field. She's 5-1 in the program. I think we'll get somewhere around here. This is a pretty open race, big field. We'll get a good price on the 6-horse Dare to Fly in the 7th, so we'll make a win bet there. So let's recap the day and recap the bets. Okay, so for Sunday, February 15th, over at Santa Anita, nice race card they got there, a lot of nice betting opportunities. We've got 3 win bets to make on this Sunday card. We're going to go over to the second race and bet the 5-horse, The Last Straw. The 4th race, the 1-horse, 406 Creed. And the 7th race, the 6-horse, Dare to Fly. So those are 3 win bets I'm going to make today. If you're going to bet those horses, I'm wishing you the best of luck, as I'm wishing myself the best of luck. If you want to use those horses in multi-race wagers, it looks like some nice opportunities there today in multi-race wagers. I wish you the best of luck there. Let's wish the folks over at Santa Anita a very safe day of racing today on Sunday. Let's wish ourselves the best of luck and best trips, as we know that really makes a difference in winning and losing. So as always, I thank you so much for watching Fast Horses Today and listening to the picks. Thanks to everybody who's hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done so, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button for me. It just delivers the content to you so you don't miss any of the action. You can always like, dislike, make comments, make good comments, make bad comments. I promise to respond to everything. We can create a discussion. So again, thank you so much for watching. Let's hope we have a great day at the Great Race Place. And we will be back tomorrow for special President's Day holiday coverage on Monday. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you back tomorrow. Thank you.